Let's talk about holding the sword. Okay, this is called a Jian. It's a double-edged weapon. So the Jian is sharp on both sides, so you never want to touch down and over here. For the handle, there's two ways to grip the sword. One is for wushu and demos and things like that. That would be mostly index finger and thumb, with the other fingers loosely holding it. Because you want the sword to live in your hand, right? You don't want the sword to be locked in real tight. You need to be able, the sword needs to be able to move in your hand. So for wushu or just basic form work, a lot of people hold it this way. But this is not a traditional grip. The traditional grip is held with the two middle fingers. It's a much stronger grip, so that, and your thumb will go over those fingers, then these will fall down. Okay? Sometimes it's hard to get your thumb all the way over. So you can just, the important thing is that the strength of the grip is going to come from the two middle fingers. By having the top one loose and the bottom one loose, it gives a little play within your hand. If you hold it just like this and your sword gets hit, it's just going to fall out. It's just going to break loose from your hand. So you definitely want to get more strength this way. I'm going to teach you about ready position. So ready position is just put one foot back on a 45 and the other one forward. Front foot is toe. If you notice my heel is not down, my heel is up a little bit. Okay, that gives me a little spring forward and back. My sword is in front of me, starting from my straight out to this will be about nose height. Okay, so this is like a 45-degree angle. I'm protecting my front. Okay, a little further out, yes, and the tip down. Okay, this is the ready position. Okay? Your fingers, on the other hand, what is the other hand doing? These are called sword fingers. We're going to rest them on the wrist. We're not resting it there to balance chi or stretch tendons. We're putting it there to keep it behind the sword. You keep it behind the sword because the sword's your shield. You should never put any part of your body on the other side of your sword. All right? It's always got to be behind. This is a good way to keep your hand behind. We're going to learn basic deflections first. So when I'm here, I'm going to coil down onto my back leg. My heel stays up over here. So when I do, I'm going to coil down. And as I do it, I'm going to turn my blade here. Okay, so you're turning, your hand will come to, it's just going to follow your center line. But we're turning the blade out. The reason we're turning it out is because we block with the flat side of the blade. So if I were to thrust it, kneel, it's going to, with the outside of the blade. So when we're doing the deflection, we're coming in here. We're not going big. We're not coming over here. If my opponent's over there, they're just going to turn around and hit me, right? I'm just going to come here. You only need to get that blade away from your, keep your sword between his blade and your body, all right? So this is a basic deflection. So we start here, turn, and as we turn, we coil out, and weight goes down here, right? Go back to ready. Remember, your weight is back. Yes, yes, yes. Coil and turn that blade. Go back. Coil and turn that blade. If you notice, when I'm turning, my tip isn't over here. Where's my tip? It's still mostly pointing in the direction of my opponent because that makes the follow-up so much faster. Okay? So when we're doing, we're not, remember, maintain good Tai Chi structure. So you're going to turn, and you coil down. So we're just sinking in, just like we do in many of our Tai Chi forms. Here, down. Okay. The second deflection. So how do we do it on the other side? Notice I'm asymmetric. I don't have a weapon on both sides. My feet are different. So how do we block on the other side? So we're here. We're going to block this way. Okay, remember, you're still coiling down onto that back leg. Okay? Where's my tip? Pointing at my opponent. That's not down here. It's here. This is over the top. So this might be, so if I'm coming here, just leave it, I'm going to be coming this way for the counter, all right? So I'm getting to the inside, okay? So right now, we'll add the cut in a second here. This is just the deflection. Coil down, coil up. Coil down, and back. Coil down and back. Now when you see a sword fight, they're not just blocking, they're not just doing defense, they're striking too. And the thing you should always remember when you start using a sword like this is you don't really separate deflection and cuts. They're all one movement. There's only about 6 different deflections and 9 different cuts you need to know in order to be able to fence. The trick is manipulating your feet, having correct structure, making sure you control the cut all the way through. So here's cut number 1. It's called a su cut, C-I, su. It's a straight thrust. When we do this thrust, we're just going to, our weight will go forward today, and the blade will go horizontal. Okay? Back to center. Just, and back to center. For now, when you go forward, don't put your heel down. Keep that heel up. That gives you a lot of mobility. Now what's happening with this hand over here? I'm just keeping it back and away. This actually does help a little bit more with balance, but you're not going to go this, you're not going to do this where you overextend yourself. My hand is far enough away from my opponent so it's not going to get cut. Right? And it just gives you a nice balance, but I'm on my front toe, my heel is still up. Okay? What do you think we're going to do next? A deflection with a cut. In one movement. Okay, so ready position. We're not going to do anything different that we haven't already covered. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to coil down and turn to our open side. And from here, we're going to, down here, when we uncoil from here, we're just going to thrust straight out. Heel up, yes. Go back, deflect, thrust, deflect, thrust, deflect. You turn your blade in this way, yes, that way. Remember, you want to block with the outside edge. Thrust. Block in, deflect. Remember, you want to control it. You don't want your blade over here. You want it pointing at your opponent, right? So you can go fast. So now try and do it as one move. Deflect, thrust. A little faster. Deflect, thrust. Remember, coil down, coil up. The other deflection we were doing is this way, right? We can still coil down and then thrust out again, this way. Okay? So from here, we're going to coil down, then thrust. If you notice, when I'm doing this, I'm going to talk about the 4 parts of a cut in a second. You align your blade and then you thrust. You will not penetrate a plastic bottle with a sharp sword if you're twisting it and trying to go in. It's just going to bounce off. The sword will not cut if it's rotating. all right? So you always have to cut. You align the tip, and then you do your thrust, okay? So this brings up now, what are the four parts of a cut? We've already covered most of them. Number one, a cut includes the deflection. We don't separate them. It's not it's just like yin and yang. You don't separate yin and yang. They're forever there. They're bound together. Where there's yin, there's, yang is coming back. So it's a constant cycle, right? So there is no deflect and cut, deflect and cut, deflect and cut. A cut includes the deflection, right? So the part number one is you deflect. Part number two is you align. Part number three is you cut. And part number four is making sure you maintain control of the tip. When we do thrust, we don't do this and then let it go. You always have to maintain the tip control. Okay? So we're going to come back. Block. Okay. Thrust. Other side. Deflect. Thrust. Remember to use your weight. Come down, sink in. Thrust. Deflect. Thrust. Okay. Sink. Thrust. Sink. And thrust. Do you know what's a really good sword if you're at home? It's an empty wine bottle. It's got a good grip, and it's got enough weight to it. You don't have to have a sword in your hand to do these exercises or to practice. Look at that. It's perfect. It's got good weight to it. It's got a good grip to it. The only thing it doesn't have is an edge. So you got to think in your mind, think about what are the edges. But any type of bottle like this is a good substitute. Thanks, Mark. Okay, the other way to block. So if you notice in this one, I go to the outside edge and my tip is up. I can also turn here this way and turn my tip down. Okay? So when I go down, I'm also going to block with that edge. Okay? So go back to ready. Remember, your sword's in front of you, not to the side. Tip's not down, tip's not over here, tip is here. 45 degrees, pointed at your opponent. Weight back, front toe, right? We're going to turn and just turn essentially just let the blade come down and turn out so you got flat side over here, right? When you come back this way, don't let your elbow wander past the edge of the blade. What happens? The opponent's sword is right here if you deflected. If your elbow's back there, he's just going to go up and cut you right there. So when you come back, keep that elbow behind your sword, not out here, here. Okay? Go back. Deflect. And back. Go back. Deflect. And back. This deflection is used a whole lot. But the tip is down, and elbow, the big thing is that elbow. Don't let it come out over here. Keep it behind your blade. Remember, your blade is your shield. Always keep your shield between you and your opponent. And back. Okay. Okay, now we're going to add what's called a P cut. This is the second type of cut. P is a chop. So it's a percussive cut. This is point in. Going right through, skewering whatever you can. The next one is a chop. So by percussive, I mean it's coming down. Now, percussive cuts don't just come down. I don't just do this. It's almost elliptical because it goes out, and so when it's coming down, it's also going out. So you get, it comes down, and then it continues to slide forward. So if you get the person's shoulder, you're still cutting in to the muscle, right? So when we do our P cut, here I'm going to start this way. We're going to go to the block. If you notice, this is all set up to come back over the top, right? And P cut. Okay? Deflect. Over the top and P-cut. Deflect, over the top, and P-cut. Okay, now let's put the two together. So we're going to start here. So in the ready position, everyone know ready position. Where's your weight? Back foot. Where's your toe? Or your front heel is up. Okay, so the first one we're going to come block, thrust, circut. Block down, let the tip go down. Coil back, P-cut. Okay, back, circut. Tip goes down, deflect, P-cut. Deflect in, thrust. Block down, P-cut. Deflect in, thrust. Down, P-cut. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now some of you are probably saying to yourself, I can go this way. What do I do on this side? How do I do? We can't deal with the side today because it's one of the harder deflections because you have to come in this way. Right, so it's a much harder move to deflect that way on this side. But there is a move there, so you can do that and P-cut that way. So you can go, and then you can put it all together. I'll just show you what that looks like. And here, 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 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a lot of it. That is, I mean, that's too much to cover today. I don't expect you to remember it. What I do expect is someone will say, I want to come to this class. It's really important to take it if you want to get into a sword form. You can either choose to do a sword form or you could choose to do more of the interactive sword work that we also practice. So the interactive stuff is more along the lines of fencing.